Have you ever found yourself in a tight spot, needing quick cash, and started looking into online lenders like CashnetUSA? And then, did you wonder, wait, are the rules for this different depending on where I live? If so, you're not alone. It's a question that many people have, and for very good reason. The world of online lending, especially when it comes to short-term loans, can be a complex maze of regulations that shift not just from country to country, but often from state to state within the same country. Imagine trying to navigate a game where the rules change every time you cross an invisible line on the map. That's essentially what can happen with financial products like those offered by CashnetUSA. While CashnetUSA aims to provide quick and accessible credit, their ability to do so, and the specific terms they can offer, are heavily influenced by the regulatory landscape of each individual U.S. state. This isn't just about small print. It can impact everything from the types of loans available, to the maximum amounts you can borrow, the fees and interest rates you'll pay, and even the repayment schedules. So, let's dive deep into this fascinating and critically important topic. We're going to break down why state-specific eligibility criteria exist for lenders like CashnetUSA, what those differences generally look like, and most importantly, how you can find out exactly what applies to your situation. Understanding these nuances is key to making informed financial decisions, avoiding unexpected surprises, and ensuring you're getting a fair and legal deal. The primary reason for these state-by-state variations lies in the way financial services, particularly short-term loans, are regulated in the United States. Unlike some other countries with more centralized financial oversight, the U.S. grants significant authority to individual states to set their own laws regarding lending practices. This means that while there are federal consumer protection laws, states can, and often do, implement stricter regulations on things like interest rate caps, loan terms, and licensing requirements for lenders. This patchwork of regulations is designed, in theory, to protect consumers within each state. Some states have historically been more aggressive in their consumer protection efforts, leading to tighter restrictions on high-interest loans, while others have adopted a more lenient approach. This historical and legislative divergence is why you'll find that CashnetUSA and other online lenders can offer the exact same products or terms nationwide. So, what exactly does vary from state to state when it comes to CashnetUSA's offerings? Let's look at some key areas. Firstly, loan availability is a huge factor. CashnetUSA does not operate in all 50 U.S. states. The legal and regulatory environment in some states simply makes it unfeasible or illegal for them to offer their services. This is perhaps the most fundamental difference. If you live in a state where CashnetUSA isn't licensed to operate, then no matter what your personal financial situation, you simply won't be able to get a loan from them. Secondly, and perhaps most importantly, are the types of loans offered. In states where traditional payday loans are heavily restricted or outlawed, CashnetUSA might offer alternative products, such as installment loans or lines of credit. A payday loan is typically a small, short-term loan meant to be repaid on your next payday. Installment loans, on the other hand, allow for repayment over a longer period through a series of scheduled payments. Lines of credit offer a flexible borrowing option where you can draw funds up to a certain limit, repay, and then borrow again, similar to a credit card. The specific product available to you will be entirely dependent on your state's regulations. For example, some states might only permit lines of credit, while others might allow installment loans. And in some states, CashnetUSA may operate as a credit access business, CAB, meaning they facilitate loans through a third-party lender rather than being the direct lender themselves. This model is often used in states like Texas. Thirdly, loan amounts and terms can differ significantly. Even within the same type of loan, say an installment loan, the maximum amount you can borrow and the length of the repayment period can be capped by state law. A state might set a maximum loan amount of $500 for a payday loan, while another state might allow up to $1,000 for an installment loan. Similarly, the minimum and maximum repayment terms can be mandated by state regulations. This directly impacts how much you can access and how long you have to pay it back. Fourth, and critically, are the fees and interest rates. This is often the most scrutinized aspect of short-term lending. States have varying laws regarding the maximum annual percentage rate, APR, that can be charged on loans. Some states have very strict usury laws that cap interest rates at a relatively low percentage, effectively making high-cost short-term loans unviable. Other states have more permissive laws, allowing for significantly higher APRs. This means that the exact cost of a CashnetUSA loan, in terms of fees and interest, will vary drastically depending on your state of residence. You might see APRs in the triple digits in some states, while in others, they might be lower due to specific state caps. It's crucial to compare these rates and understand the total cost of the loan before committing. Fifth, eligibility criteria beyond basic requirements can also be state-specific. While core requirements like being over 18, having a steady income, and an active checking account are generally universal, some states might impose additional requirements or restrictions based on your financial history or existing debt. For instance, some states might have cooling-off periods between loans or limits on how many loans you can take out within a certain time frame. While CashnetUSA generally uses alternative credit scoring models and may not perform a hard credit check with major bureaus, specific state regulations might influence their assessment process. Sixth, rollover limits and repayment flexibility are also subject to state laws. Some states severely restrict or outright ban loan rollovers, which is when you extend the term of your loan, often incurring additional fees. Other states might allow rollovers, but with limitations on the number of times you can do it. Similarly, state regulations can influence the flexibility of repayment options, such as the ability to make partial payments or the consequences for late payments. In conclusion, the answer to are there state-specific eligibility criteria for CashnetUSA is a resounding yes. The U.S. regulatory environment for short-term lending is highly fragmented, leading to significant variations in loan availability, types of products, loan amounts, terms, fees, and interest rates depending on where you live. Always do your homework by checking CashnetUSA's official website for your specific state, and consider consulting your state's financial regulatory body for comprehensive information. Being informed is your best defense against unexpected costs and ensures you make a financial decision that truly benefits you. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.